Tell me about Tapped Out,
Tapped.
which is still winning back to back these awards.
We shot it back in September.
Yeah. So okay. So how did that happen? How did you come up with the how did Tapped Out happen?
Another inspirational thing where I was at one of my neighborhood bars one night, and of course they're known for having gorgeous bartenders, but most of the bartenders are also actors or something on the side. You know, that's the nature of the beast. Anyway, this gorgeous bartender was waiting on me, and we started talking about this and that, acting and art and whatever. And he told me that he was a makeup artist. And I go, oh, that's interesting. You know, that's cool. So you do this and you bartender on the side, whatever. And he goes, yeah, I'm also a dancer. And I'm like, oh, really? What kind of dancing? Tap dancing. Now, when you look at this guy, he has all these muscles and everything. You don't think tap dancing. I mean, tap dancing to me is Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire, and this guy had these big muscles and the big chests and the biceps and the big muscle butt and the legs. And I'm like, tap dancing? You? And so then immediately my dirty old man thought came in. I'd like to see all those muscles flexing around tap dancing. Boom. Tapped Out was born.
Wow. And then you went and wrote.
Yeah, so I told him about it. I go, okay, I want to do this little film where you're showcase tap dancing and doing what you say you can do. He thought I was joking until finally when I got everything needed to start shooting, I go, okay, when are you available for rehearsals? Then he was like, oh, we're really doing this. I go, yes, and I'm not a choreographer, so you're gonna have to create a dance routine that's gonna show you off because you're gonna be photographed from every single part of your body. I mean, we had like 4 cameras on set. And so he was like, and we met twice a week, 2-hour rehearsals. He danced his butt off. I mean, Joe Oster, that's his name. Great, talented, just phenomenal dancer. I watched him create a routine right in front of my face. And I never really, the only time I chimed in was like, can you maybe add one more turn to that one little spot? Otherwise, he created the whole dance routine that you see in the film.
He did.
And I just remember he was sweating a lot during rehearsals, but I could tell he was working really hard because he was a really hard worker where he would do a step over and over and over and over and over and over and 10 more times before he was satisfied with it. And then he would go, what'd you think of that step? And I go, I like it. That's how dedicated Joe was with the rehearsal process. And once I saw the routine develop in front of my eyes, I'm like, yeah, we have something here. And when we were shooting it, it was like a one-day shoot. Joe did that routine like over 30 times that day, and he never complained once. You know, because we had all cameras on him so we can catch every angle, every movement, whatever. And he never complained, but he did it over 30 times that day, that dance routine. I don't know how he kept up because I was exhausted just looking at him, but he just kept it going and everything.
That's the passion that will give you the energy.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
That will give you self energy. That's what I really appreciate and call bold decisions, bold moves. You come up with the idea, you do not hesitate, you immediately act on it, just like what happened at the bar with you.
Yeah.
and you didn't even have the plan, you didn't even have the script. You're like, you know what? And that's what I truly admire about your work, because you do not waste any moments of from coming up with the decision and movie is done. You know, you don't have you ever doubted yourself? Have you ever thought, no, this is not a good idea, what am I thinking? I mean, besides the New York thing. But have you ever had like self-doubt? And if you did, how did you overcome it?
Well, yeah, being a human, we all have self-doubts. Being an artist, especially, we all do. I look at it this way. It's like if you don't do it, then someone else may do it, and they may do it better than you. So you better do it. That's so whenever I feel like I don't know if then I see, Joe Blow from Buffalo, who you don't even know, try to do the same thing that I came up with first. That to me would make me furious. It's like, I'm going to do it. I don't care if I'm scared or have doubts. Just do it. It's either do that or go get a job in a department store and be miserable and say, well, I woulda, coulda, shoulda. Been there, done that, not doing that anymore. I came to New York not to play, but to slay. Period.
Love it. Beautiful. So beautiful, so powerful.
You have to, because nobody's gonna promote you better than you. I don't care how much. If you have a lot of money and you can buy a publicist or a manager they're gonna get a chunk of the money, and they're gonna take a chunk of the credit. Because there are people out there. I'm not saying they're all like that, but there are people out there that want to latch on to someone else's success and go, "Oh, well, if it wasn't for me, he or she wouldn't be where they are now." I'm not going to give anybody that opportunity, because I manage Robert. If I ask for some help, or I need help or something, fine, and I will credit the person who has helped me. But I'm certainly not going to let someone be like, "Oh, well, I'm managing your career and I'm gonna no, 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 no." So you have to you personally know what you want, and no one's going to create it better than you. Even if you get someone to assist you, they're assisting your plan, not their plan, but your plan. And either they work out and they work with you, or you just have to politely say to them, "Next, bye-bye."
Let me ask you this, now that you mentioned that. You know what you said, you know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us don't. Some of us really do. And listen, I have been guilty of that too, because we all, from when we are children and we grow up throughout our journey in life,
Mm-hmm.
we all are wondering, what am I doing here, right?
Right,
Not,
right.
not everybody. Well, I always knew I wanted to become I always knew I wanted to be an actor, period.
Right.
That I knew. But then life throws you in different directions, and then you get lost and you're like, what am I thinking? Not all of us know for sure what we want. So do you have like an idea, or do you have an opinion about how one can know exactly what they are made to do?
You follow your gut. You follow your gut and see deep down inside, even if you're having some mundane 9 to 5 job that pays the bills, if you still have any bit of a feeling deep down inside your gut saying, well, I know I'm a singer, I know I'm a dancer, I know I'm an actor, and this and that, that's what keeps you going. That's what gets you through that stupid 9 to 5 job. So then you can pay your bills and then put a little money aside to pay for the dream. Because if you don't have a dream, then why live? And I'm not one of those type of person. I'm not trying to make it into like a Disney movie where like, oh, everything has a happy ending. No, you have to work for it. You have to work for it. But if you have a dream and you have a drive and determination, 3 Ds, you know, it's like if you don't have any of those, then, you know, why bother? When I moved to LA, I wanted to be an actor. Okay, I gave it a try. I realized I don't like acting. I like writing and directing better. And then I off to New York. And when I first came to New York, I did some acting gigs, but again, by then I was kind of over it. I was like, I want to write my own dialogue. I don't want to read somebody else's, you know. So I got kicked out of a lot of auditions. Like, thank you very much. We'll call you if you need. I got a lot of that when I
Yeah.
came to New York, but no, you have to. You know what you want deep down inside, and a lot of people give up and go, it's not for me. And they usually latch it on to it's because it's money or whatever. It's like, I didn't have a bunch of money when I came to New York. I still don't have a bunch of money, but you know what I mean? I'm doing what I want to do. You have to just believe in yourself, as cheesy and overused as that line is. You really do have to believe in yourself because no one's going to believe in you more than you.
Yes.
You know, I mean, your oldest friends or family members, they may be there for you, but they're not always there for you. It's been my experience, and I've heard other people say this, that I've gotten more support for my films and my art from strangers on the street than I have from people who I've known for 50 years.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. It's just that, you know, I had a Kickstarter for one of my films, and I was raising funds for the production. I got more funds from people I met in bars or at a party than from people I've known since I was 6 years old. Now, try to explain that. Or from family members. You know, I've gotten like, you know, some people I've known forever. So I can give you $10 for your Kickstarter, for your, you know, donation, whatever. But then I get like $80. I got $1,000 from someone who I didn't even really know. You know? So it's just I don't know. You just believe in yourself.
How resilience helped you throughout your journey to get to where you are right now? Resilience and persistence.
I make it a habit never to look behind me. I just
Ooh.
I just keep looking forward. I keep looking upward.
Oh,
Because
tell me.
yeah, if you look back, then you'll be like, "Ooh, I should have done that better. I should have." I don't care. I'm going forward. I'm going upward. I've never climbed a mountain, but I feel like my whole life is about climbing a mountain, getting to the top of Mount Everest. That's how I live my life. But that's a Capricorn thing too. Capricorns are determined to get to the top of the mountain, no matter what, you know. But it's also an artist thing. It's also a person with any drop of creativity or vision or something, artistically or whatever. You're constantly climbing a mountain, and you will not. Some people will fall off that mountain, but others, many, we will not give up until we get on top of that mountain. And some people, when they get there, they want to own the mountain, but that's a whole other different story. But I just want to get on the top of the mountain.
Have there been any instances in your life where you took an action or you decided on something and then you regretted it, but then that taught you a very valuable lesson?
uh
Would-
yeah, we all have experiences like that. Hmm. I was living in LA at the time, and I was between gigs, and I was teaching piano lessons. And this is back before internet and all that kind of stuff. And you know, I relied on this one person who I thought was going to help me build my piano lesson business going, and all he wanted was just to take money from me.
Hmm.
And it wasn't like a whole bunch of money, but I listened to his advice and I paid him for his advice, and then he skipped town. I haven't thought about that in
How
a
long did that take?
Um, it was one of those people. I met him. We started talking. I told him that I teach piano and actor, and this and that, whatever. And he goes, "Oh, well, I can tell you how you can build up your business." And da 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 da. And hey, I was naive. I was in my 20s, and I believed him. And I paid him a certain XYZ about money for his services, and he didn't do squat.
What did you learn from that experience?
I learned never ever to believe talk. People talk a good game.
What did you learn about yourself through that experience?
That it's like, okay, I'm not an idiot. I was just set up to look like an idiot, but that's what I learned. And it's like, just follow your instincts. If you feel it, one little bit of, I don't know if this person is really believe that. And I thought that for a split second when I met this guy, but I thought, well, no, he seems to be really passionate and very concerning about helping me, and he just baited me in like that. And so, yeah, but that never ever happened again.
Of course. So this question might be kind of deep, but what do you think that experience might have prepared you for in order to become the person that you are now? Besides not to, trust the
Yeah.
same person again.
Just to keep your eyes open, pay attention to your surroundings. And we're living in a world now where nobody is paying attention to their surroundings. They're too busy on their phones, walking down the street. They don't even watch where they're going. I cannot tell you how many times I've cussed out people on the street. Why don't you watch where you're walking? And you need to pay attention.
Sure.
Things are being snatched away right and left, and you're not paying attention. So I pay attention to everything. Even if it looks like I'm not paying attention, trust me, I know every detail. And I do that all the time. Even when I'm asleep, I pay attention. It's just, that's just how I am. And we all know people who just don't pay attention to their surroundings. And that's how they fall. That's how they get hurt. That's how just a whole bunch of stuff. You got to do that. Now, this is the way the world is now. It's been this way for many years. It's not like it's current. I mean, just brand new. It's been going on like this for at least over 20 years. And it's just getting worse. So I pay attention to everything.
That's great. That's actually great advice. Be present.
Yes.
Pay attention. Pay attention, especially when you are in New York.
Yeah, or just in any
New York.
big city or something like that. Just pay attention to your surroundings, listen, and pay attention. That doesn't mean that you have to always jump in and be involved, whatever, but just know what's going on so you can maneuver through whatever the situation is.
Has there been anybody or anything in your life that dramatically, and by dramatically I mean in a good way, influence your work and your journey as an actor, as a director, as an artist? Somebody who influenced you in a very special way?
Well, we both know this one person, Patrick McAndrew. I mean, again, had I not had met him, there probably wouldn't have been any of these films that I've done, because he started it, by me staying in that musical that we both were in. I've thought about this many times. Patrick and I have talked about this a few times. It's like, I wonder how it would have played out if I had actually left that night of that rehearsal and I never saw any of those people again. Where would the path have gone? There wouldn't have been The Eyes of the World. There wouldn't have been my film that followed it, Doubleday. There wouldn't have been the film Drive. There probably wouldn't have been a Tapped Out. I never probably would have met you, so there probably never would have been a case of the missing air. I mean, you see, it all started with Patrick. That's how Patrick is the single most important person next to meeting my husband that I've met in like decades.
Oh, that's such a nice thing to say.
It's the truth. You know, before meeting Patrick, creative wise especially, I mean, I was still in that kind of rut, like, oh, I want to do more, but I didn't. And then I saw this ad for a stage manager for a musical, and then I applied for it thinking, oh, they're probably not even gonna. And then they hired me, and then all of a sudden everything just changed after that. Within like years, and like I said, meeting Patrick McAndrew, that changed a lot. Meeting my husband changed the course of a lot of things too, because I wasn't looking for any type of a relationship. I just thought I was just gonna just play the field and just focus on me, and that's it.
Was it a bold, well, we're gonna take a moment and just shout out to Patrick McAndrew, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have met you either.
See?
So,
Yep. Shout out to Patrick
big
McAndrew.
shout out.
Yeah.
And he actually won the best editing for Tapped Out as well.
Yes, that's right.
So congratulations all around.
There's been like 3 editing awards so far in this film.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. 2 honorable mentions and then 1 best editing award. And just like, yeah, the picture's got like 6 awards so far. 2 of them for best super short film.
Well, no surprise there for any of you. So I'm really glad to have been part of the team.
That was fun. I told Patrick, I said I needed this production at that particular time, because again, it was that sort of a time when I was kind of like between stuff, and I only feel alive when I'm creative. If I'm not creative, I feel like, why live? And then Patrick told me about this project he was doing. It was, I would love to have you direct it. I'm like, I'm in. And I didn't know any of you guys when I've met all you guys that first day, and it just felt right. It just
felt
felt
amazing.
right. I could have done that shoot all day long. It just felt right.
We shot that film in 4 hours, 4.5 hours.
Oh yeah, it was under 6 hours. We just boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom,
Different
done.
locations too.
What happened?
We went to different locations. We were in that big room, and then we went outside, and then over by the park. But we just got it done, and that's like, this is what life is supposed to be about: just creating stuff. And everyone wanted to be there.
I think one big reason of that, obviously, is because we were all after one mission, and we were all on the same page, and we were so connected to each other. Although we haven't met before, but your directing style is so reassuring, so empowering. I loved how you direct. You like keep the energy. You were like behind the scene. It was amazing. One of the most amazing experiences I ever had.
Well, thank you.
On set.
Well, you guys were
I'm really grateful for that. And I'm like, oh my God, let's do like something like that again.
That's what, yeah. Afterwards, I was like, okay, we got to do something like this. Again, I loved, and Asa, who was the DP on that, he was one of the DPs and Tapped Out.
Yes.
So if I work with people that I really enjoy, then I want to work with them again, instead of breaking in some new person or somebody I didn't, whatever. But yeah, so yeah, that was a very good day. It was a very special day. It was a very productive day. We got a lot of stuff shot that day.
We shot a film.
Yeah, we shot an entire film.
In one day, like half day.
And just using what we had, our resources, to create a look and an image, be it that room or outside when we're shooting in the park area, on the sidewalk, whatever. We made it all work.
And that film actually won the best use of genre also.
Yeah.
And it came second place for the costume.
Yeah. So, and we had just shot it like what, a month earlier, and then it already won an award at that festival.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, and it just feels good because it's like your hard work is being acknowledged
Yes.
because everybody brought it 100% plus on that set. I mean, all of you guys. I mean, we all wanted to be there. Nobody slacked off or anything. We all were on the same page, and that's what I liked.
So these principles and this empowering key elements, they don't necessarily belong in the entertainment industry. They can be like in any kind of industry. These are kind of principles that people can apply
Mm-hmm.
in order to succeed in whatever they do,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
right?
Yeah. Be it in the entertainment industry or in the corporate world or whatever, you just, yeah, it can be in any, it can be in any type of profession, really.